welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep. And bruh, this week's chapter of Black Clover was fire! To sum it up in 4 words, everyone becomes extra thick.
Damn boy, he's thick!
Like, look at Dante. This man is ripped now, and seeing Asta and Yami together like this is just too much. We're all acting like Charlotte whenever this man does anything. The level of thickness on Yami's neck, for example, is unmatched. His overflow of muscles with the veins popping out is everyone's dream. He's nice, big, girthy, and uses so much of his dark magic thrust.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
But come on, man, it's literally called Death Thrust. I feel sorry for Charlotte on their wedding day. Okay, so before I start this week's analysis, I'd like to thank Crunchyroll for sponsoring this video. Wait. I know you're about to skip this shit because it's an ad. Basically, thanks to your support, Crunchyroll is sponsoring the video. Currently, you can get a 2-week free premium account signing up under my link, crunchyroll.com/animeballsdeep. Yes, you heard that right. 2 weeks for free. Just sign up below and I'll put the link in the description and pinned comment. Since Crunchyroll is an authenticated source, it helps the original creators of the anime as they get a cut from the company. All our favorite anime is on Crunchyroll. Demon Slayer, Black Clover, Dr. Stone, Naruto, Boruto, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, whatever you can think of, they have it. Let's not forget that Crunchyroll has exclusives that just got released recently, such as Tower of God and God of High School. They are absolutely lit. Go check it out. I mean, the newest episode are available only an hour after they air in Japan. All full HD on multiple devices like your phone, so you can watch anime on the train instead of dying of boredom. So please check out the link in the description and pinned comment, crunchyroll.com/animeballsdeep. Okay, so clearly I love this chapter, but believe it or not, some people were complaining when they saw Asta getting back up. And to be honest,
That don't make no sense.
like seriously, what did you want Asta to do? The manga has clearly shown that he is the embodiment of will and motivation against the system that puts him down in every way. He is the one that inspires people wherever he goes and makes them change their opinion on how they view themselves or the world, for example. He did this for Patry, Yuno, Noelle, Finral, Vanessa, Gordon, Magna, Luck,
One eternity later.
Zora, Henry, Mars, Sekri. Do I need to say more?
No!
But guess what? Asta also needs someone like that too for himself. And he does. He witnessed Yami in chapter 256 never giving up against all odds while staring at the face of evil. Yami is putting his life on the line for his team. Now, as I said last week, this was such an easy balls deep prediction to do. Asta was inspired by his sensei, fam. Don't you know his motto? Yami is number 1 and Asta is the 2nd strongest person in the Clover Kingdom physically, according to Tabata himself. And it's not like Dante used magic to completely incapacitate him. He just punched him JoJo style to unconsciousness. Therefore, Asta getting up after meeting his anti-magic devil within, telling him to go get revenge for me, boy, it seemed like a smooth transition to me. It's a sensei and student team-up battle against an angry Dante that admits that he cannot defeat Yami if it wasn't for the devil. I mean, what a simp! This dude is a simp for Lucifer, bruh. This dude is a simp for Lucifer, bruh. For Lucifer, bruh. For Lucifer. So, this chapter starts with Dante's body parts floating in the air as Yami made him into a literal puzzle with his death thrust attack, right? Apparently, Yami didn't mean to destroy his body, but wanted to aim for the head. But even with this slight mistake, Yami is still too cool and states, "Sorry, I blew away your body." At least it was of a pattern similar to a target. Dante is left speechless since he has realized he is indeed a simp. He even has inner thoughts talking to himself, debating the idea. I'm roasting this dude so hard. We might as well call him Dante, the simp king of the Spade Nation. Dante doesn't quite understand why this has happened. He didn't think there was a human alive who could face him head on at his full power, and it caught him off guard. But he now knows Yami is the man capable of killing him, and that's why he's got such a pathetic look on his face. Suddenly, Dante's body starts to regenerate and his muscles start fusing back together. He then explains that his original magic is body magic, meaning Lucifer's magic is actually gravity, as the Dark Triad members have 2 types of magic each. He also goes on to explain that his magic's renewal ability was enhanced by Lucifer's power, and that he doesn't die or get old. He's stuck with this age and appearance. This makes a lot of sense now and explains a few things, because when we look back at Yuno's flashback in chapter 238, Zenon looks the exact same during the attack on the Spade Kingdom 16 years ago as he does now. This new revelation explains why their character profiles showcase question marks instead of their age, because we know the members have had their magic enhanced by the devils. So we can deduce that this is how they were around back then to kill all these people, but haven't seemed to age at all even though 16 years have passed by. Dante goes on to say that he doesn't like using body magic because it's unsightly and ugly when he regenerates, and it's a sign he's in big trouble. Now, due to the very nature of his character embodying the traits of the dark triad of personality, which remember is narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism, this makes sense. How can a being of his stature that sees humans as inferior resort to the human power itself he once had before meeting Lucifer? This just highlights the loss of his humanity by using Weg magic too much, as Julius described. So suddenly, he undergoes a transformation, thanking Yami in the process. Dante goes on the offensive and strikes Yami, but of course he dodges and takes the opportunity to use another death thrust, meaning that Yami has technically killed this guy 3 times already if it wasn't for the devil, proving again and again that Dante is a simp to Lucifer. This dude is a simp. Dante acknowledges Yami for his fighting sense and skills, and says that he is ahead of him in both aspects, so that makes him jealous. This is just like Lucifer's story in Abrahamic teachings, how he was jealous of the first human Adam. This was due to his pride, and he promised God to make all of humanity to fall into sin just as he did, again, which is similar to what Dante says to Asta in chapter 242 regarding the nature of humans, that evil intent are true, tempting Asta to fall into sin and evil acts just like him. Dante says that Yami can't defeat him, but only because he can't die, thus is unbeatable. He continues on to say that this world is irrational and unfair, and sometimes there will be obstacles you can't overcome. This is similar to what the anti-magic devil said to Asta in chapter 97, if you can remember, how there are some places you just can't climb. This goes back to the idea of nurture versus nature of some sort. You know how I've explained in the Boruto videos how it's exploring the philosophical aspect of power between Otsutsuki and Ninja, where the Otsutsuki pass on their power without earning it in a meaningful way, whilst Ninja practice their jutsu through trials and tribulations and pain. Well, Dante is kinda insinuating that here. The devils feel they are superior to all other beings, right? And they are the obstacles that other people cannot overcome, because they've never known anything different. They enhance human magic for the better, and when they incarnate into the world, they are borderline unstoppable. Look how much effort it took for Zagrid to get defeated. You guys must know the saying, or heard of it before, absolute power corrupts absolutely, as in a person's sense of morality lessens as his or her power increases. Now, since Dante did not train or earn his power from Lucifer in a meaningful way through positive outcomes such as protecting friends, saving a human life, or charity, or going through trials and tribulations, for example, it means that he is corrupted and won't understand the very idea of suffering in humans. All 3 Socrates siblings don't give a shit about their own subordinates, for God's sake, or how they treat human life in general. They even destroyed children in chapter 252, what the Heart Queen read. So Yami and Asta standing up against this obstacle in front of them that they have trained so hard to harness their skills and magic for connotes the never-ending will of humans adapting to a situation to ensure the survival of the race. Let's not forget how the Heart Queen mentioned that the Dark Triad plan to erase 90% of the human race existence and want to enslave the rest. Not only that, but this scene showcases Asta's growth in a number of different ways. Remember during the underwater temple arc when Yami showed up to finish Veto and everyone else had to back up and watch? Well, things ain't the same as they used to be, and Asta is fighting alongside Yami as an equal. This also shows that Yami has more confidence in the squad. I mean, he always believed in them that they could surpass their limits. Back in the cave arc, when Yami was fighting Pathri, Asta couldn't bring himself to get involved in the fight, and instead went for Valtos like Yami instructed, because he wasn't on their power level or scale, right? And he hadn't seen that kind of action before. But now, he and Yami are on a much more even playing field. Yami has the ability to sense ki, and knew Asta was trying to get up to try and help him. He could sense his ki building up with emotion to try harder. That's why it's so badass when mans didn't even have that little back and declare Asta is with him. We have never seen Yami call Asta by his name, fam. Asta has been noticed by Senpai. Now, since I've mentioned Asta, it's time for Balls Deep Prediction Magic.
Woo! It's showtime!
Now, this theory was contributed to the anime Balls Deep community itself and was brought to my attention. Shout out to the guys on Discord, Twitter and Reddit following us on there and engaging with us. But on a serious note, I want to ask the community on anime Balls Deep a question. I mean, the amount of DMs and theories you guys have been sending lately on these different platforms have been piling up quite a bit. Me being busy all day trying to produce content 3 times a week, and I'm only human, I can't keep up with all these thoughts and contributions by you guys. So I'm thinking, wait a second, being in the position I'm in, I can help these shining stars in this community. Some people out there do harness the power of Balls Deep Prediction Magic by sharing their mana with me, right? So it would be fun for us if we could react to you guys' contributions. And by the way, when I mean react, right, I mean showing my ugly face, right?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
So what I'm trying to say is, after August, when I take my break, I'll be experimenting on reacting to you guys. Yes, you, people that contribute to our Reddit. Right now, we are at 900 followers or so. Let's try and get to 1,000 by the end of this video. And let me know if you would be interested in that type of content in the comment section below. And smash that like button. Let's try and get 20,000. Maybe also hit the notification bell too, please. One day you might be featured in the video and you didn't even know because you didn't get notified by YouTube because the system is trash and corrupt. So if it's viable content and it works for me, I would love to help you guys in that way. Anyway, this theory on my Reddit was given by Screwhead Yurichi, Shut In Rockstar, and NX Owen. How do I pronounce this? What kind of username is that, bro? Now, although all 3 of these mandem were on the right track, I'll give you that. I appreciate the premise, but I don't agree with your overall conclusions. However, it still does make sense that it's a possibility. I'm gonna change the theory a little, but go on the same track as you guys. But the theory goes back to what Varnica admits, that she did fight Acier Silva, Noelle's mother, 16 years ago. And she now remembers why Noelle looks familiar. She claimed that kidnapping a child made Acier a lot stronger in their fight. Now, we know Acier survived this fight and lived on after. That's how Noelle was born right after, right? But unfortunately, she got cursed by Medjugorje, which caused her death at least 9 months later or a year. So, what if Acier did save the child Varnica actually kidnapped, but the child that Varnica was toying with was baby Asta? And that's how baby Asta ended up in Hajj village at the same time as Yuno in the orphanage. Because Acier was the one that saved him and took him back to the Clover Kingdom and needed him to have a home. This would then explain, since Julius knows about devils already, that he knew the truth about Acier, and that's why he had a keen interest in Yuno and Asta, knew their names, knew about their magic before even meeting them. He disguised himself as an old lady. He had so much information on these guys already because he knows the truth about Acier, right? Now remember, this is just a theory, but I think this is kind of on the right track about what could happen. Let me know in the comments if these guys are on the right track, because it further links to part 2 of our anti-magic devil identity theory video if you guys haven't seen that series, as this would make the Light Triad story even more interconnected than before. This way, Asta can find out the truth about Noelle's mother and the suffering her future wife went through, right? We know these 2 are gonna be married in the future, but I want Asta to have the harem fam, but I don't know, I don't know what to say. But this would further their bond and relationship to a new degree. It will be poetic in a way that the child Acier saved is the one her daughter fell in love with, and they will save the world from discrimination by reforming it, making her will live on forever. And finally, another thought I had was on Twitter. We saw in the last chapter that Finral is in an emotional state and he wants to help the team, but he feels like he would die if he steps in. He may be able to develop a new spell here to let the others escape since they have run out of mana, but he hasn't. Finral can gain courage through Asta and Yami trying their best, giving him the opportunity whilst Dante is distracted. The guys on Twitter feel like this was a good prediction, but let's wait and see what happens. Okay, coming back to the chapter, we see Dante stabbing Yami and thanking him once again for giving him a supreme pleasure. I think this guy is such a simp that he's gotten confused on what he's attracted to, man. My man wants to marry Vanessa and Gray. Next thing you know, he wants Yami. But then again, who wouldn't want Yami? Yo, delete that shit. What the hell?
Oh, that's a boy. That's a boy. I know.
100%. Who's that?
I forgot, but I saw this anime.
Whoa, I feel a bit conflicted here. The team scream out for Yami as he is damaged and about to die. Yami admits to himself that the fight is over and he can't beat Dante. But Asta, finally being acknowledged by Senpai, remembers all the times that his captain surpassed his limits and gave him advice. All of their memories and bonds. They join together to defeat Dante in the final panel, and that's the end. Wow, what a great chapter. That's all my thoughts for the week, fam. Remember to smash that like button. Follow us on social media and the Reddit. As I said, we're gonna experiment with that next month at the end of August, and let me know if that's a good idea, because then I'll react to the content and give you shout outs. Thank you for everything. Thank you for supporting us, and I'll see you guys next time.